My name is Adeyemi. I'm here to take you chemistry, but JAMB series question year 2013. We have to take some special questions in this particular year. So take for example, let's start with what? Question 13. This question is from water, the topic water. The question says, steam changes the color. The first thing you have to have at the back of your mind is what? Steam is also what? Water. Water in form of what? In form of gas. But the steam changes the color of anhydrous cobalt-2 chloride from here. We have only two types of water, two types for water. Number one, we have the what? The one for cobalt-2 chloride, and we have what? Copper sulfate. Mind you, the color of this cobalt-2 chloride is what? Blue. Whenever water is added, it change to what? Pink. These are the two tests for water. But the one for copper-2 sulfate, the color ordinarily initially is white, but when water is added, it change to what? Blue. So from this question, let's see. Steam changes the color of anhydrous cobalt-2 chloride from, mind you, as I said, we have just only two tests for water. The one for what? Cobalt-2 chloride. The color of the cobalt-2 chloride is blue. Now water is added, it change to pink. Why the second test is what? Copper-2 sulfate. The color of this copper-2 sulfate is white. When water is added, it change to what? Blue, to show the presence of water. So from this option, we have what? White to red. This one is out of it. Blue to white. If it is what? Copper-2 sulfate, this option is totally right. But it is what? Cobalt-2 chloride. So from here, they now said blue to pink. You can see blue to pink. The correct option is what? Option C. You now still say what? White to blue. Hope you get what I'm saying. So this option, they are what? Totally wrong. The correct option is what? Blue to pink. Let's move on to what? Question 7, still under 2013. How many unpaired electrons are there in the p orbital of fluorine? The first thing you have to know is what? Fluorine has atomic number of 9. Let's write the electronic configuration. We have what? 1s1, 1s2, 2s2, 2p what? Cs. They now said what? P orbital. This is p orbital. Fluorine is 9. This is 10. It should be what? 2p5. This perfect electronic configuration of what? Fluorine. But mind you, this is the orbital. You must obey the Aufbau principle, Ohm's rule, and what? Paul exclusion principle. 5. It must follow. You must. Okay, this is how it should be. The main one. They now said what? How many unpaired electrons are there in p orbital of fluorine atom? This is the p orbital. This one is 2s orbital. This is s orbital. This is s orbital. How many unpaired electrons do we have here? This paired. This one also paired. This one is what? Unpaired, which means the correct answer should be what? Option C. Just have only one word, unpaired electron. Mind you, this question is testing us under Ohm's rule. Ohm's rule said that what? There must be what? Electrons should be what? Shared singly before what? Pairings occur. So let's move on to the next option. And example of what? Hygroscopic substance. Hygroscopic, this one is under acid, base, and salt. And this one are what? Under characteristics of what? Salt. Characteristics of salts, we have common characteristics of salts. We have what? Hygroscopy. We have efflorescence. And what we have deliquescence. Hygroscopy is when a particular salt takes in water without forming a solution. Efflorescence is when a salt loses some or parts of what? All of water of crystallization. Deliquescence is what? When the salt absorb water and what? Form solution. Take for example, common salt, NaCl, the one we have at home. But this hygroscopy, they now said which example of hygroscopic substance? This one we absorb water and it will never form a solution. This one will form a solution. This one will form a solution, and this one will form a solution. So the correct option here is what? Option A. This calcium oxide will never form a solution when it's what? When it take in water. So let's move on to the next question. Question 16, 2013. H2O. This one is under redox reaction. This is the equation. 2H2O plus 2F2 going to what? 4HF gas plus O2. They now said what? In the above reaction, the substance that is what? being reduced, which means the oxidizing agent. In this type of question, we have what? Reduced substance, which is also the what? The oxidizing agent. We also have what? Oxidized substance, which is also the what? Reducing agent. From definition of oxidation and what? Reduction. Oxidation means what? Oxidation means what? Addition of oxygen. Reduction means what? Loss of oxygen, which means from water to air, hydrogen has what? Loss of this one with what? Reduction. And this one with what? Oxidation. From here, from what I've given you, the oxidized, the reduced substance is what? Hydrogen. In which, if it is what? The reduced substance, it is what? The oxidizing agent. While the oxidized substance is what? Is the water, which is what? It will be what? The reducing agent. From the option given, we have what? A is what? O2. And mind you, let me give, don't ever go to the what? To the product side and take maybe the oxidizing agent or reducing agent. Always take them from the what? From the what? The reactant side. We have O2, H2O, fluorine, and hydrogen fluoride. The correct option is what? Option C. This is what? Fluorine gas. The next question says, from this one is from organic chemistry. We have this compound H we are told to name this compound. The compound above is A. Acanone, B. Acanoate, C. Acana, D. Acanol. Mind you, you have to what? Notice the functional group. The functional group that we are having here is what? Acanone. If the carbon atom carry the functional group, we have just only one hydrogen atom. If you get that, it is what? Acana. But what it is not having what? The hydrogen, any hydrogen atom, it is what? Acanone. Then acanoate. This is the functional group of acanoate. R is acanoate. Then we have acanal. I've explained the acanal. Assuming this carbon atom has what? A bond with hydrogen, it is what? Acanal. Then acanol. Acanol is what? OH. This is the functional group. So the correct option here is what? Acanone. So let's move on to the question 16 under 2013. The solvent used for removing grease stain is A. turpentine, B. ammonia solution, C. ethanol, D. solution of borax in water. The correct option is what? Here is what? Ammonia solution. Turpentine is used to remove oil, and ethanol is organic solvent used to remove what? Organic stain. So solution of borax in water is also used in removing non-organic substance, but the correct option here is what? Ammonia solution. Let's move on to the next question 27 under 2013. You notice this question is under chemical equilibrium. You were given this particular equation, SO2 plus O2 SO3 to give what? Sulfur 6 oxide. In this question, mind you, this you have to take note of this sign given. This sign signifies the reaction is what? Exothermic reaction. You now said in the reaction above, the concentration of SO3 can be increased by, if it is what? Exothermic reaction. The only situation which what? Concentration of this one, which means production of SO3 can be produced by what? Situation. Mind you, decrease in pressure, no. Decrease in temperature, no. Increase in temperature, no. Addition of catalyst. The correct option is what? Decrease in temperature. If it is what? Endothermic reaction, it is what? Increase in temperature will favor the what? The forward reaction, or it will favor the what? Production of what? SO3. But since it is what? Exothermic reaction, which means decrease in temperature will favor the production of what? SO3. So the correct option here is what? B. Moving to the next question, question 43. The compound that will react with sodium hydroxide is a typical base, is a base to form salt and water. This one, they are asking question under neutralization. Neutralization is the process by which salt and acid react with a base to form salt and water. Which means, and you are given a base. They now said, what is the what is the substance that will react with this one to give us what? Salt and water, which means it must be a what? An acid. Let's look at the option. The first option here is what? Option A, which is what? Glucose. The second option is what? Is not even correlates at all. The next question is also from ethanol, and the last option is what? Propanoic acid, which means this is the only acid we have here. So this is the correct option. So this is the correct option. So from here we have to know acid. An acid is what? A substance in which when dissolved in water produce what? Proton as the only positive ion. So thank you. So that is for that. Let's move on to the next question under the same year, question 26. The question says, in an endothermic reaction, if there is a loss in entropy, the symbol for entropy is what? The H. The entropy, the S. While enthalpy is what? The H. We now say there is loss in entropy. The reaction will be A, be determinate, B, spontaneous, C, not be spontaneous, D, be at equilibrium. This question, they are asking this question from what? This free energy, entropy, and enthalpy, and temperature. And like I said, the symbol for entropy is the S, while enthalpy is what? The H. But the formula relating the Gibbs free energy, enthalpy, and entropy is what? The G is equal to what? The H minus T, the S. But mind you, they now said what? If there is a loss in entropy, which means there is a loss, which means there is a negative. The entropy is a negative sign, which means the enthalpy have upper chance on this, which means the G will be positive. Mind you, if the G is positive, the G positive, there's something we call what? Spontaneous reaction and what? Non-spontaneous reaction. Spontaneous reaction are the kind of reaction in which they occurs on their own without any external forces. While non-spontaneous reaction are the reaction in which what? They occur with what? With the aid of what? External forces. Take for example catalyst and so. But in this case here the G is positive, which means the correct option here will not be what? Spontaneous reaction. If it is what? Spontaneous reaction, the G will what? Negative. While if it is an equilibrium, the G will what? 0. So you have to take note of this. Just do ask this kind of question. So let's move on to the next question, which is what? Organic chemistry. The question is from organic chemistry. An organic compound contains 6% of carbon, 13.3% of hydrogen, and 26.7% of oxygen. Calculate the empirical formula. So you have to tabulate we have carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. How many percent of carbon do we have? We have 60. Hydrogen is what? 13.3, and oxygen is 26.7. So the relative molecular mass of oxygen is what? 12. While hydrogen is 1, oxygen is 16. What you have to do is calculate the mole ratio. How do we get the mole ratio here? 60 over 12, 13.3 over 1, and 26.7 over 16. This one will give us 60 over 12. 60 divided by 12 will give us what? 5. 13.3 divided by 1, 13.3. And this one will give us what? 1.7, I think. So divide the smallest figure we have here is what? 1.7. Divide all through by what? 1.7. 5.5 divided by what? 1.7. 13.3 divided by 1.7. And 1.7 divided by what? 1.7. This one will later give us 1. This one will give us 4, 3. And this one will give us, I think, this one will give us 8. So as you can see from here, our carbon is what? 3. Hydrogen is what? 8, and oxygen is just only 1. So this is what? Empirical formula. So let's come here, let's check the right option. This is not the right option. I think this one is perfectly right. This one is wrong. This one is wrong. The correct option here is what? Option B. Let's move on to the last question under this year, 2013. The IUPAC nomenclature for the compound above is, the meaning of this IUPAC is what? International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. The IUPAC, the first thing you have to know is what? Count the numbers of what? Hydrogen, carbon. Count the numbers of carbon atoms we have here. And where do we start? We have to start from here, because this carbon is acidic carbon. We call it acidic carbon. because it has the functional group 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What you can see here, we have just only 5. We have 6 carbon atoms, but this one is what? Substituent. It's from alkyl group 1, 2, 3, 4, which is what? Pent. But at what carbon atom is the this methyl group is attached? Carbon atom what? 4. Carbon atom 4. Then at what carbon atom do we have the functional group? We have carbon atom 2 and 1. But the smallest figure here is what? 1. Which means it's what? 4 methyl pent 1 in. This 4 methyl is because we have 4 attached to carbon atom 4. Then pent 1 in. This pent means 5. Then 5 carbon atom 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then pent 1 in. This one, I said the carbon atom having the functional group are what? Carbon atom 2 and 1. But you have to take the what? The smallest number, which is 1. That is why it's what? Pent 1 in. So this is how the question is. Question year 2013. Thanks for watching.